Imagine a family tragedy just shrouded in decades of silence, where whispers and rumors, they become the only version of the truth anyone has.
Right, a complete void of real information. Decades of just speculation.
And then what if, 50 years on, you were tasked with unraveling that very mystery?
Only to find that maybe the most reliable narrator, or perhaps the only narrator left, is your own dying father.
That's the extraordinary journey we're really diving into today.
We are. We're taking a deep dive into this compelling case of Olivia Taylor Dumont. She's a renowned ghostwriter, actually, who gets pulled right back into the most painful, unresolved chapter of her family's past.
Yeah, the 1975 Ojai murders of her uncle and aunt, Danny and Poppy Taylor.
Exactly. And our mission today isn't just to recount the events, but to really dig into what Olivia's investigation reveals about memory, about truth, and about trauma, how it all connects.
Because this case, it really haunted that small California town, Ojai, for generations.
Yeah.
And as we connect the dots from Olivia's work, we'll uncover some surprising things about how the past shapes the present.
And how the stories we tell ourselves, our personal narratives, can sometimes completely twist reality.
So the sources we're drawing on for this, they're pretty unique, aren't they?
They really are. We've got Olivia's own detailed notes from her investigation, personal diaries she unearthed, specifically Poppy's diary.
Which is huge.
Huge. And then there's chilling film footage, actual Super 8 films from 1975, plus a series of really candid interviews Olivia conducted.
So we're essentially following Olivia's path, step by step, as she pieces together this incredibly fractured story.
Yeah, uncovering secrets that basically shatter everything she thought she knew about her family and, ultimately about herself, too. It's a powerful look at reconciling the stories we cling to with hard evidence.
Okay, so let's start with Olivia herself. Olivia Taylor Dumont. She's 44 when this all kicks off.
Right, and she's built this really successful career as a ghostwriter, which is interesting, right? Crafting stories for others while keeping her own completely hidden.
She even changed her name to Dumont. Moved away to Topanga Canyon, really trying to escape her father and that whole media storm from years ago.
Absolutely. She wanted distance. But this return, it wasn't really her choice, was it?
No, not at all. She just had this major professional implosion.
Right, the whole cancellation thing. She'd publicly criticized a really powerful author, John Calder. Went on a bit of a rant, actually, about misogyny in publishing, powerful men getting away with things.
And it backfired.
Yeah.
Badly.
Left her basically unemployable for a bit and in serious financial trouble. She actually owed Calder money.
Ouch. So she's in a really tight spot.
Exactly. And that's when her agent, Nicole, calls with this offer she feels she kind of can't refuse, a ghostwriting job.
For Vincent Taylor.
Her estranged father, the man she hasn't spoken to in over 20 years, and whose existence basically she's kept secret from everyone, including her partner, Tom.
So obviously she wants nothing to do with it initially.
Resists hard. But the money pressure is just too much, so she accepts.
And that's when the other shoe drops. It's not the novel she expected.
Not at all.
Wow.
Vincent tells her, no, this isn't fiction, it's a memoir. About the murders. About Danny and Poppy in 1975. He's under contract, but he says he just can't finish it himself.
And the reason he can't finish it, it's complicated and heartbreaking.
Very. He has Lewy body dementia, which, severely impacts memory, perception, reality itself. Plus, he genuinely needs the money. He's apparently blown through his savings, the equity in his house.
But there's something deeper driving him too, isn't there?
Yeah, beyond the money, he has this conviction. He believes no one really knew Danny and Poppy, and he feels like their story, or at least his version of it, is going to die with him unless he gets it down.
It's quite a motivation. But Olivia starts seeing red flags almost immediately.
Instantly. She finds some of Vincent's handwritten notes, and they're disturbing. Things like, she shouldn't have gone, I wanted to kill Danny.
Whoa, okay. That's alarming.
Right. And then Alma, his caretaker, who knows his condition well, she warns Olivia, says, be careful pushing him too hard. His memory's unreliable, and he can get aggressive.
So right from the start, it's clear this isn't going to be a straightforward ghostwriting job. Getting a clear story out of Vincent seems almost impossible.
Absolutely. A tangled web from day one.
And then Olivia actually goes back to Ojai. The town itself must have been a flood of memories.
Oh, completely. She talks about remembering places like Nina's Diner and these charming little stories her dad used to tell, the Lionel Foolhardy stories.
Sort of the fond childhood stuff.
Yeah, but then there's the shadow side. The constant whispers about the murders growing up, feeling isolated, and seeing how the town itself has changed, all this new money moving in.
It really shows how trauma can just seep into the fabric of a place, doesn't it?
Definitely. And you see how living under that cloud shaped Olivia from a young age. She mentions these secret investigations she did as a kid.
Right, with Jack Randall, the son of Danny's best friend.
Yeah, sneaking into the library, looking at old newspaper clippings, trying to figure it out even back then.
But they didn't find much, just that it was still an active case.
Pretty much hit a dead end. But it shows that drive, that need for answers, was always there in her.
It also kind of mirrors her own tendency towards secrecy in her adult life, doesn't it?
It really does. She admits she lies about her past, especially to her partner, Tom. She uses this fake NDA as an excuse for why she can't talk about her family.
Which is extra complicated because Tom apparently comes from a background where lying was common, and he just can't deal with it now.
Exactly. She says lying is a non-starter for him. So this whole project, this whole confronting the past, it's forcing her to confront her own walls, too.
And things get even more complicated when Vincent starts recounting memories that directly contradict Olivia's.
Oh, yeah. Like those Lionel foolhardy stories she remembers him telling her. He claims she made them up.
That's gaslighting, almost, even if it's unintentional due to his condition.
It feels like it. And then, even more shocking, he tells this story about seeing Danny kill a neighbor's cat in the oak grove. Paints Danny as dangerous.
Danny, the one everyone thought was the hero.
Exactly. Compared to Danny, Vincent claims he wasn't the dangerous one.
Yeah.
Which is just stunning, given the narrative Olivia grew up with.
It really makes you question memory itself, doesn't it? Especially under stress or with illness involved.
Totally. It's
Yeah.
not like a recording. It's something we build, maybe to protect ourselves, maybe just to make sense of things that don't make sense.
And this is where Olivia gets her first piece of solid, contradictory evidence. The big discovery.
The diary. Poppy's diary. Hidden inside an old rusty film canister, tucked in a box of school folders.
And the first page is missing.
Cut out. Deliberately removed. Which is significant in itself.
But what's left? It's explosive.
Absolutely. Entries like, I heard a rumor today that Lydia was pregnant, and now she's not.
Lydia being Olivia's mother.
Yes. And then another entry. May 30, Vince-Danny fight. Did he learn the truth about Lydia? Everything feels different now. May #4, clip #9.
Referencing a film clip even then, wow.
Yeah, she was documenting. And then just days before she died, June 4, one of them is going to kill the other one.
Jealous.
And finally, June 10, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I feel sick. No one will believe me, and now I've lost the proof. I need to tell someone, but Danny will kill me if I tell.
Danny will kill me if I tell. That just flips everything. Suddenly it points maybe not just at Vincent, but potentially Danny too, or at least a huge secret involving him.
It opens up entirely new possibilities. A deeply personal conflict seems to be at the core.
And the discoveries keep coming. It wasn't just the diary in that box.
No. More searching, and under the floorboards in Poppy's closet, 10 reels of Super 8 film.
Poppy's Missing Home Movies. From March to June 1975. The months leading right up to the murder.
Exactly. Olivia gets them digitized, and they become this incredible objective window into the past.
And they immediately start contradicting Vincent's stories.
Dramatically. Remember he claimed he saw Danny burying the neighbor's cat?
Yes.
Well, there's film clip, and it shows Vincent burying the cat.
Whoa. Okay, so direct visual proof his memory or his telling is wrong.
Completely wrong. And then there's the clip of that May 30th fight between the brothers. Vincent remembered Danny attacking him.
But the film shows...
The film shows Vincent lunging at Danny violently. And then when Poppy films him, he lunges at her.
So aggression from Vincent directed at both Danny and Poppy. That's huge.
It's the power of objective evidence versus subjective, possibly failing memory. And through these films, we get a real sense of Poppy, too.
She wasn't just a victim.
Not at all. She comes across as this budding activist, really passionate about women's rights. Her room wasn't pop stars. It was like Betty Friedan and Gloria Steinem collages.
Wow.
And she used her camera very deliberately to document things. She apparently believed film won't lie the way memories do.
Which turned out to be incredibly true and crucial.
Absolutely crucial. Her camera becomes almost another character, another witness.
So Olivia has the diary, she has the films. Now she starts talking to people who knew them back then.
Right. Trying to triangulate the truth. She talks to Margot Gibson, Poppy's best friend.
And what does Margot say?
Margot says Poppy was getting scared of both brothers towards the end. But she singles out Vince, calls him truly frightening. Margot flat out believes Vincent did it, and that the official cause of death, the coroner's report, was wrong.
Interesting. Does she mention anything else?
Yeah, she remembers some vandalism at school back then, graffiti, a shed burned down. People thought it was Vince targeting Mr. Stewart, their neighbor.
Mr. Stewart again. He keeps popping up.
He does. Margot also confirms Poppy was devastated because her camera went missing the week she died. And she remembers Mr. Stewart's cat, Ricky Ricardo, vanished, and Poppy was looking for him.
Okay, connecting some dots there, possibly. Then Olivia talks to Danny's best friend, Mark Randall.
Yeah, Jack Randall's father.
Hmm.
Mark remembers Danny as charismatic, but also, quote, a prick. So not just the golden boy image.
Gives a more rounded picture.
Right. And Mark recounts this really chilling incident. Seeing Vince shove Poppy against a wall. Said she looked terrified, and Vince looked like a psycho.
So another account of Vincent's aggression, specifically towards Poppy.
Yes. Mark actually suggests maybe Poppy was the intended target that night, and Danny just got caught in the middle trying to protect her.
That's a different theory.
It is. And Mark gives Olivia this warning, too. He says, very rarely do people like what they find when they go digging into the past.
Which must resonate deeply with Olivia at this point, feeling her own family story unravel.
You can imagine. And meanwhile, Vincent keeps offering these alternative explanations for the evidence.
Like the note, she shouldn't have gone.
He claims that was about Lydia going to a bonfire with Danny and Poppy when he was grounded. Nothing sinister.
And the other note found in Poppy's closet. Someday soon, you'll be dead.
He insists that was just part of some elaborate treasure hunt game they used to play. Just a silly, spooky clue.
It sounds like denial. Or maybe his dementia twisting things to make them less horrifying.
It's hard to tell if it's intentional deception or the illness, or maybe a bit of both. But for Olivia, the contradictions are piling up. The film, the diary, the witness accounts, they're all clashing with her father's story.
And you can feel her anxiety growing, her relationship with Tom straining under the weight of all these secrets and lies she's uncovering, and the ones she's still keeping.
Yeah, her whole foundation is shaking. Everything she thought she knew is being challenged.
Okay, so Vincent's story is crumbling. The witnesses paint a complex picture. Olivia must feel like she's getting closer, but the final piece is still missing.
Exactly. And that piece seems to revolve around the neighbor, Mr. Stewart, the one who keeps appearing on the periphery.
The PE teacher, Paul Stewart.
Right. Olivia tracks him down. He still lives in the same house next door to the old Taylor place, all these years later.
Wow, that's something.
Isn't it? He confirms he bought the house in March '75, so he was definitely there during those crucial months.
And he provided the alibi for Vincent and Lydia, right? Saw them arguing at the carnival, mediated it in the Oak Grove around the time of the murder.
That's his story, the story that stood for 50 years. He paints himself as this helpful neighbor, describes Vince as, not his biggest fan, mentions Lydia was a good track runner he coached, all very normal sounding.
But Olivia pushes him, based on Poppy's diary.
She does. She asks him about Lydia's abortion, asks if he could have been the father.
How does he react?
He gets cagey, guarded. He gives this weirdly philosophical non-answer. Information is power. It's never wrong to seek the answers you need, but denies knowing who the killer was.
That sounds deflective, almost manipulative.
Very. It doesn't feel like an innocent denial.
So Olivia hits a wall with Stewart. Where does she go?
Back to the beginning, in a way, to her mother, Lydia. She confronts her directly.
And Lydia finally tells the truth about the pregnancy.
Yes, the truth she'd held on to for decades.
Yeah.
It wasn't Vincent's baby. It wasn't Mr. Stewart's baby. It was Danny's.
Danny's, wow.
Yeah. Lydia says Danny was charming, funny. They had a moment. She pulled away, thinking of Vince. Danny called her a tease. Then she found out she was pregnant.
And Danny's reaction.
According to Lydia, Danny deliberately let Vincent believe the baby was Mr. Stewart's.
Oh man, that adds such a layer of betrayal and complexity to the brothers' relationship right before everything happened.
Absolutely.
Well,
It explains that fight Poppy mentioned in her diary, potentially. The tension, the secrets.
but it still doesn't explain who killed them. Then comes the final piece of evidence, the 11th roll of film.
The one Poppy's mother found later. The one with sound. This is the key.
Olivia plays it for her father, Vincent.
Yes. And the film shows Mr. Stewart confronting Danny in the Oak Grove. It's tense. Danny accuses Stewart of being a predator, asks if he's still taking kids into that equipment shed.
Whoa, so Danny knew something or suspected something about Stewart.
He did. And Danny reveals he burned the shed down. The vandalism Margot Gibson mentioned.
So Danny did it, targeting Stewart.
Seems so. And then Stewart says something chilling. about knowing what Danny did to my cat.
Ricky Ricardo, the missing cat, implying Danny killed him.
That's the implication. And then Stuart kisses Danny right on the lips.
What? That's incredibly disturbing, given the accusation Danny just made.
Completely disturbing. Danny is furious, pushes him away, and then the camera just goes black as Poppy obviously turns and runs.
My God, that changes everything. It puts Stuart right there in a volatile, potentially incriminating confrontation with Danny just before the murders.
Exactly. And seeing this, hearing it, it unlocks something in Vincent. The final fragmented memories start to surface.
He confesses his part.
He does. Admits he was in the house that night, June 13th.
Mm-hmm.
He remembers Danny slamming his head against the wall during a fight. He saw Danny's hunting knife, picked it up.
And he thought he killed them.
In a black outrage, yes. He believed for 50 years that he'd killed both Danny and Poppy. Then he fled and got rid of the knife, lived with that guilt, that horror all this time.
But Poppy's perspective, revealed through Olivia's work, gives the actual sequence.
Yes. Poppy's final moments pieced together. Stuart followed her back to the house, stabbed her in her bedroom.
Oh my God. So Stuart killed Poppy first.
Yes. Danny came in, presumably heard something, tried to save her. Stuart then grabbed Danny's own knife.
The hunting knife Vincent later picked up.
Exactly. Stuart stabbed Danny with it, then fled, dropping Poppy's camera with that damning film roll inside.
And then Vincent came in, saw the scene, saw Danny's maybe still moving or near Poppy.
And attacked Danny, blaming him in that moment, before blacking out when Danny hit his head against the wall.
It's just layers of tragedy. Stuart's calculated murder, followed by Vincent's mistaken grief-fueled rage.
A horrific misunderstanding built on decades of secrets and Stuart's manipulation.
How does Vincent process this? Realizing he hated his brother for 50 years for something Stuart actually did.
It's devastating for him, but also clarifying. He expresses profound regret. He finally understands Danny's actions towards Lydia differently, seeing them through the lens of Danny's own likely trauma with Stuart.
And the alibi Stuart provided for him and Lydia?
He realizes it wasn't Stuart being cornered into providing it. Stuart offered it, willingly, because it covered his own tracks. The perfect manipulation by the real killer.
Just incredible. So Olivia writes the book, All Her Beautiful Days.
And it's a massive success. Hits #1 on the nonfiction list, released poignantly on the 50th anniversary of the murders.
And that author who canceled her, John Calder,
apparently finds himself in some hot water of his own. Nice little bit of cosmic justice there.
and the actual justice for Danny and Poppy, for Stuart's other potential victims.
Paul Stewart is indicted. With the book out and the new evidence, multiple other victims come forward. People he abused over years, from the 70s right up to 2011.
So his reign of terror, hidden for so long, is finally over.
Finally. Justice served, though incredibly delayed.
And for Olivia personally, what's the resolution?
There's healing. She pays off her debts. Her father passes away, but they have a moment of understanding before he does. He admits he sent her away, partly because she reminded him of Poppy, of who Poppy never got to become.
That's incredibly sad, but also a kind of closure.
It is. And the ultimate act of closure. She has the old Taylor house, the site of so much pain, torn down, sells the lot.
Wiping the slate clean.
Symbolically, yeah. Building something new, as she puts it, on top of the ashes of a painful history.
And her relationship with Tom.
The final scene described is her sending Tom the address of the now empty lot, asking him to meet her there. Her message is simple. I need to show you where I came from.
Wow, opening up completely. Ready to share the whole truth of her past.
It's a really powerful ending. Vulnerability, reconciliation.
This whole deep dive, it really underscores the power of truth, doesn't it? Even when it takes 50 years to surface.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the incredibly deceptive nature of memory. How easily it can be twisted by trauma, by illness, by guilt, by deliberate manipulation.
Olivia's journey is a stark reminder that the full story can emerge, but often in ways you'd never ever expect.
And the ripple effects of trauma, just echoing down through generations until someone is finally brave enough to confront it head on.
So, thinking about this, what does it truly mean to find justice? Not just legally, like for Stuart, but for the people like Olivia, like Vincent, who lived under the weight of those lies for so long.
That's a huge question. Is justice just punishment? Or is it also about understanding, about releasing those burdens, about finally knowing the truth, however painful?
And maybe for you listening, how might your own understanding of truth shift when you think about stories like this, when you consider conflicting memories, family secrets, and really high personal stakes?
Yeah, something profound to think about. How solid are the narratives that shape our own lives?